Good morning, you guys. Christian Styles back for another video. This one is going to be a little different because it's going to be directly targeting a company, which is just the beginning of one of probably many that I'll do. The reason why I find this video to be as important that it comes out now, which as I was racking my brain, I should have said something about this earlier, and I didn't. And that is, I guess, an oversight on my part. I wasn't really looking to call this out back then, but now it feels like, well, why wouldn't I call it out? If I expect for the court to be held to the highest esteem, I would also believe that I think the private sector, that this principle applies to the private sector as well. And so for Palm Beach Garden Medical Center to follow suit and do the right thing here, I do believe that they are responsible as well. And this is before I call Channel 7 News. This is before I call Channel 10 News. This is before all of that. Those phone calls will be made right after I make this video. But I want to be absolutely clear that any company that is paying and has on their payroll two individuals that are actively breaking the law with doing detrimental harm to a minor child. Okay, that's the biggest part of this, because healthcare providers should uphold the law, not break it. And when you have two staff members that are on staff, Akaiaa Shelley Charles and Renee Jenkins, on staff that are actively breaking the law, actively breaking court orders, actively harassing people, actively doing all of these things, and the job does absolutely nothing about it, I absolutely find issue with that. Now, I don't wake up every day to stir the pot. In all actuality, what I want is justice, not only for myself, but for my child. I want to stop being harassed. And in order for that to happen, they need to get a real and true punishment from the court as well as their private sector employer. There needs to be somebody that puts their foot down that says ethically and morally this whole situation is wrong, and we are going to separate ourselves from you and sever ties because you guys have proven that you guys do not uphold what it means to be a healthcare provider in the United States of America. No healthcare provider should be doing these things where you are actively hurting, in more than just medical, your own child. You're not even doing the things that you're supposed to be doing for your own kid. In fact, you're doing the exact opposite of what you should be doing and then trying to pass the buck on everybody else. Doesn't work that way. So it's my job to make sure that, just like I sent the email to both the complaint department and the patient experience. And I wanted to make sure that that email was out there because it'll be the first of probably many. I have already gone straight to the top of Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center, and I have already scheduled a meeting with the person at the top. I will also be making sure that I make a physical visit out there for purposes to meet with the person that is in charge of both of their departments and meeting with their bosses. I absolutely will. I think that it is important that this be put to bed as quickly as possible. And I don't think for 1 minute that ethically, if you can be involved in so much criminal activity, sending innocent people to jail for no real reason, and then having to be asked for the evidence to support your claims and you not having any evidence, just a gut feeling or just because you wanted to, that's not an acceptable response. So my thing is, you're ruining people's lives, and it's not just mine. It's everybody else that is affiliated with me as well. That means my parents, that means my child's aunts and uncles and cousins. You're ruining people's lives and ruining our child's life by extension from all the things that you and your mother have orchestrated since 2022. And as you guys know on this channel, and this is why I'm bringing it to YouTube, because YouTube has over 375 videos, and I want to say at least 50% of them have to do with this issue that stem way back, even before we were married. So these are the things that I want to make sure are at the forefront. And I'm going to put them, all of those videos that have to do with this particular subject, because Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center, their YouTube channel, will be attached to this. I will make sure that I at them in this video so that they see that a video has been made and that will go viral as a result of the things and the people that you guys have on staff. There's going to be so much pressure and public scrutiny that they'll have no choice but to separate themselves from Akaiaa Charles and Renee Jenkins, or they could just do themselves a favor and resign. If they resign before it becomes public, then it'll save the hospital's reputation. You know how I know that? Because a hospital is for themselves. A hospital is a corporation. They don't want any of this dragging their name and their reputation that they have worked so very hard to build by two individuals that are involved in activities outside in their personal life that they shouldn't be involved with to begin with, that they are not conducting themselves the way that medical professionals should, and healthcare professionals period should. And therein lies the problem that will continue to make the hospital look bad on the whole. And if y'all think that it's just this video, or that it's just the couple of emails that I'm going to send, you're sadly mistaken. I am somebody who will never, ever give up when I know what is right and what is just for my child. I have gone to the state of Florida as far as who grants licenses for nurse practitioners and all of those things. I have done that. I have already made the appointment to speak to them. I'm going to the state about this matter. This is not something that will fizzle out in a couple of days. This is something that I plan on carrying out from now until I get the result that I believe I deserve in this matter. Not only do I deserve it, but I think that the hospital deserves to be staffed with people that have integrity, and not someone who is doing everything in their power to destroy someone's life simply because they didn't get what they wanted. That's not how that works. If you want to operate in immaturity and with no ethics, morals, or values, then you can do that. Just make sure that it's not on something that is publicly funded, like the hospital's dime. The hospital is publicly funded by taxpayers, which means, as me being a taxpayer in America, as me being someone who works full-time and has always worked full-time, I have been working since the age of 8 years old. I have had more of an extensive career than these two bimbos will ever have. My resume makes theirs look like a joke. Especially Renee. She just, at 44 years old, she just became an RN. She just became something in her life. After all that, what did you do with all your young years other than being raped by family members? What did you do during all of those years? You just wasted your life. You raised your kids incorrectly. You are continuing to raise your kids incorrectly. You're not teaching them to stay in a child's place. This woman's entire family attacks me, harasses me on a regular day-to-day basis, then goes to court to back up the lies when they know that their sister, my ex-wife, is probably the biggest liar. Now, what I can say is they don't defend her in the ways that I believe they should be defending her, and it's because they know that she's in the wrong. They know exactly what's happening, and they can't sit there and ethically and morally say, this is correct when it is not. I believe that them putting their lives in continual danger because you guys poking the bear and poking at me will continue to put your lives at risk. She is going to something detrimental and something that y'all can't come back from is going to happen to y'all, and it'll be Akaiaa Charles's fault because she's putting you guys in harm's way in the middle of something that she knows is going to get messy, is going to get uglier and uglier as time goes on. We could have left this in 2025. We were divorced in August of 2025. We could have left this there, and we should have. But instead, we're going on and on and on from 2019 to 2020 to 2021 to 2022 to 2023 to 2024 to 2025 and now 2026. How many more years of this do we have to do? I can't be the only one that is tired and exhausted and with all the proof to back up everything I'm saying. So this is not defamatory. This is not an assassination of anybody's character. Their character has already been assassinated, and their own actions did that. Without me even involved, without me saying anything, their character is already assassinated. So this is the question for Palm Beach Gardens Medical Center. What kind of people do y'all want on staff there? What kind of people do you want treating your patients? If these are the ethics that the hospital holds, then we're going to have some serious conversations about, possibly pulling your license and closing y'all down completely. Okay? Because the next is going to the Supreme Court with this case. You guys think that this is just going to be something that goes away. It's not. And if you think that I'm not going to take it there, I absolutely will. And Renee Jenkins and Akaiaa Charles, they know exactly what I am capable of because they have seen it firsthand. Every single time they do something to me that they believe is going to stick, well, what exactly happens other than they release me on a technicality? DCF comes out, they do an investigation, they find nothing. They're trying to throw spaghetti up against the wall and hope it sticks, and they're trying to get me to look like I am truly in the wrong here, when in all actuality, there's no evidence to support that I'm really in the wrong. And so if there's no evidence to support that, how do we move forward? Because you guys can't expect this just to keep going and keep going and keep going. Eventually, it's going to have to come to a head, and you guys are going to have to be brought to justice for your crimes. It's just that simple. So it's either you guys fess up now and do what is necessary to fix the wrongdoings that you guys have created, or you guys can keep poking the bear and keep, quite literally, you guys are declaring war on somebody that you know good and well you're never going to win this battle. There's no way in hell that you guys get to the other side of this and win. There's no way. Because there's too much evidence stacked against you guys. A mother who, and this is Renee Jenkins, who has the nerve to text me and call me all types of things in the middle of the night for no good reason, who just harasses me for no good reason, but then turns around and says I'm harassing her. Well, if you weren't sticking your nose in a marriage that you didn't belong in, we wouldn't have anything for us to discuss. Point blank, period, dot. I married your child. I did not marry you. And the man that did marry you, even he is repulsed and just utterly disgusted by your actions and everything that you stand for. Hence why he left you and your 4 kids, has 6 other kids on the other side that he takes care of, and not y'all. He doesn't want anything to do with the 4 kids he made with you. And that right there should say everything there is to know about Renee Jenkins. Not only do you run every man away, and her recent boyfriend that died, which I'm pretty sure he killed himself to get away from her, because I would have. You guys think that all of these bad things are happening to you guys by chance. It's not. This is part of God's punishment. This is part of your karma. This is a part of what will get worse if you continue to poke the bear. You will be brought to justice for your crimes. I can guarantee it. I am going to be the one that makes it happen. And I will be the one standing over you when you are sentenced. Whether that's by God or in a court, you will be sentenced. What goes around comes around. So, I am calling for the immediate removal of both of these staff members. Point blank, period, dot. And if I don't get it, well, game on.